this chick eating people. I can't figure it out if she's sucking their blood or eating them because it's really weird. But it was kind of fun. So if you guys get the chance, check this out on Tubi. The Living Dead Girl is what it's listed under, but also known as La Morte Vivante. Yeah, I can't tell you much else about it other than it was fucking good fun for 1982 for a French movie. I did not expect a French movie to crack my top 10, but color me surprised.
Wow, yeah, that is surprising. And I wonder, did Mr. Zombie get the title for his song from this movie?
It's possible.
Yeah.
This chick was fucking... There were a lot of hot chicks that were naked in this. You fucking Frenchies. There was a lot of bush, too. I don't know why. That's just what they wanted to do.
That makes me sad.
It makes Vic sad, too.
Yeah, it's like the worst thing in the world, man.
All right, you're up, Vic. You with your number 9, sir.
My number 9 is The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. Vic's just coming out with shit out of left field now. You know, I remember Boogeyman, but I don't remember The Boogeyman. Blake, do you remember The Boogeyman? Because I don't know that I've ever even seen it.
It was obviously one of those that was lower on the radar for a lot of people for the 80s. I'm actually surprised that Vic had it on his list. Not completely after he dropped his number 10. I'm not completely surprised, but it's worth a watch, Travis. It's been some years since I've seen it. Again, these are not ones that get a lot of I have a feeling that the ones in our lower part of our list, like you said, are not going to be the ones that get a lot of airplay when it comes to TV and stuff.
Well, I don't feel like 82 had a lot of big known movies anyway. I mean, there's a few, but overall, there's not a ton.
Overall, again, that's why I said my list is going to be very, very different probably than normal. There's going to be a few standards, but again, I think the placement of them is going to surprise you guys more than anything. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, let's bring you in for 82. By the way, Vic, I don't know where the hell you get The Boogeyman from. There's a short horror film based on Stephen King's short story, I suppose. There's also one from 1980. There's a bunch of Boogeyman movies, I just have to say. A bunch.
Yeah.
A whole bunch. So Vic picks the short film based on the Stephen King short story. All right. Blake, you're up at number 9.
Well, my number 9, this is another first for me, or one that's maybe not a first, but it's definitely not something that happens a lot for me. I have a remake on my list. So that narrows it down to only a couple of things. But the one that I chose, mostly because I love the style of the film, and I also love the theme song, which was done by David Bowie. I'm talking Cat People. Erotic horror. Yep. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you picked that. Anything with music, it's got to go Blake's way, right?
Well, and also scantily clad women, and then, of course, there was some Bush there, too. Damn it. I'm sorry, man. I don't dig the 80s Bush. I don't dig the 90s Bush. I just don't dig Bush at all.
I hear you, but I tell you what, when I see it, though, it's like a bad car wreck. I can't look away. So I will say that. That's why I like Living Dead Girl.
But this one was a great movie, and it was actually based on Cat People that came out in the 1942.
Like 50s. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was old as shit, like really old.
Yeah, but it's very good. It's very good, and it's also got a lot of people that would go on to do stuff later. Annette O'Toole was in it. You know, she was grown Beverly Marsh in the 1990 It miniseries, and then John Hurd, Malcolm McDowell, Natasha Kinski. It's got a pretty big name cast. Which McDowell.
You think Malcolm McDowell was stealing money in that movie? Because that's what he was doing in Silent Night.
I don't know. You know, it's only recently that I've seen him pop up a lot more in horror, and it's usually with Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that, but I have to say this is a really, really, really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I suggest it. If you have seen it and it's been a while, give it a chance. It's not as gory as some of the others, but there's some good stuff in it.
Fair enough, my friend. Well, I'm going to go alongside Vic here. I've got Madman at number 9. You know, I didn't even have it on my list until the last 2 weeks when I watched it again, because I didn't remember it being that great. But I watched it again, and I realized that Madman is really the, even if he has never said it, that is the movie that, like, Hatchet is almost a remake of Madman. If you watch Madman, you see a lot of similarities. And I don't just mean, it's an 80s slasher. I mean, the dude's look, the weapons, all that type of shit. Adam Green had to draw some sort of influence from Madman. Also, you know who's in this movie? And I can't think of her fucking name at the moment, but it's the chick from Dawn of the Dead, Blake.
Sarah Polley?
No, I'm talking about the original Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, I thought, sorry, I don't know where I went there.
Galen Ross.
Galen Ross.
Yeah. So Galen Ross is in Madman with long hair, and she looks for some reason younger than she did in Dawn of the Dead, which is really fucking weird because this is 4 years later. I was confused. But yeah, Galen Ross ended up doing a lot of things that I didn't realize, so more power to her. But yeah, she was in fucking Madman. So Madman's my number 9. And again, kind of an underrated slasher from the 80s that most people don't know. Vic always talks about The Burning. This is not as good as The Burning. It's not as good as My Bloody Valentine. It's not as good as Maniac. But it's still pretty fucking good. Better than a lot of those, like, I don't know, Graduation Day, shit like that. So,
I like your
just my opinion. So, we put Victor at number 8 now.
Oh, shit. Let's go with number 8. We'll go with Basket Case.
What was it?
Basket Case.
I couldn't hear what you said. I was like, what the fuck? I thought you said Batman.
Batman, yeah.
Batman?
Batman from 1982. So Basket Case. You know, I remember seeing Basket Case when I was a kid, and that movie was fucked up. And, like, it disturbed me a little bit because it was, like, I'll be honest with you guys, when I was a kid, I don't know why, but aside from aliens, Siamese twins really freaked me out, like, really bad. I don't know why. There was this commercial. There was this commercial for, I don't know, some weird oddity history DVD, or no, well, it wasn't a DVD, it was fucking VHS back then, that they were selling on some infomercial, and the way they like, advertised it freaked me out really bad, and they showed Siamese twins on there, and, well, Basket Case he's, you know, just an extension of that nastiness.
Oh.
So Vic gets Basket Case at number 8. I like it. That was in our voting, and Basket Case, we did that in the public voting, and Basket Case put a beat down on Alone in the Dark. I mean, an absolute beat down. And Basket Case actually gets a 6.1 on IMDb. That's pretty fucking high, I have to say. Surprisingly.
Oh, yeah.
High.
Yeah.
All right, Blake, you're up at number 8, buddy.
Well, I think I'm gonna start dipping into my my reserve pool of slashers here because, you know, that's one of my favorites. I'm going with Slumber Party Massacre.
Woo! Slumber Party Massacre. That was another one that was went through our voting. It took a severe beating from The Thing, but then it bounced back and beat the living shit out of Pieces. So Slumber Party Massacre is Blake's number 8. I feel like that's a movie that, like, is the generic 80s slasher. Like, that is the generic 80s slasher. You know what I mean? The only thing about Slumber Party Massacre that is not generic 80s is that it's not set in a campground. Everything else?
True. Yeah, the Driller Killer, that was 79, where they used power drill and stuff, and then New Year's Evil, you know, from 81 or so. So, yeah, I mean, those things were not uncommon by that point. But still, it was one of the few that didn't get a lot of popular vote, I don't think. That's one of the reasons I liked it. I don't always go with the popular thing. Like, one of my favorites, you'll find this out if we, you know, once we get to the year, I love the film Cutting Class. Mm-hmm. You know, that's another one of the slasher types. Again, not set in a camp. You know, set around the neighborhood and the high school and stuff. But, you know, it's the Slumber Party Massacre is really good. I mean, I would put that on the list with Happy Birthday to Me and The Fun House and, you know, several others that you should definitely see them. If you're a fan of slashers, you should at least give them a chance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, for my number 8, it's not very original, and, I'm just going to go side by side with Vic here. I've got Basket Case at number 8. Again, I mentioned it earlier. It freaked me out as a kid. I don't know how the fuck I couldn't have this movie at number 8. I'm sure I've seen a sequel. Not sure if there was more sequels. But, yeah, Basket Case is a fucked up movie from 1982, and it deserves to be on the list. So props to you, Vic, and props to me. We both have it at number 8. That's crazy.
Hey, isn't this
Blake?
where the fan vote comes in? Don't it start at number 8?
Yeah, well, I'd like to do that, but let me give you a thing. See, you guys scheduled this. You guys wanted to do it today, and I didn't get to do a full fan vote on everything because, Friday the 13th Part 3 beat up Halloween 3, and I never really got to interject it back into the fan vote. But here's what I'll tell you, okay? Alone in the Dark is... Well, actually, The Dorm That Dripped Blood is the absolute worst of the movies that we mentioned. Alone in the Dark is on there for second worst, and then Pieces. And then it goes from there. Basket Case is after that. And so there's 5 more movies I'll mention. Halloween 3 is iffy, so I never got to really put it back in there. I never got to do enough of the losers bracket. I got the winners bracket, so I can tell you which ones like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but after that, then it gets kind of dicey. So... Okay. Anyway, so our number 8 both is Basket Case. The public vote had a pretty sound opinion of Basket Case too, so looks like that's pretty consensus, except Blake does not have it. We'll see if he does at all. That moves Vic now to number 7 on his list.
All right, number 7, we're going to go with Creepshow.
Creepshow, George Romero's Creepshow, although Stephen King was involved, even he was in the fucking movie. Just to let you know, Creepshow is number 3 in the popular vote. People love fucking Creepshow, and as far as I'm concerned, well, I'll get into it in a bit, but Creepshow, it's iconic. That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it is the Tales from the Crypt movie. I know there's Tales from the Crypt movie of some sort, but this to me is the Tales from the Crypt movie because it really embodies Tales from the Crypt as far as I'm concerned. All right, so that's Vic with his number 7. Blake, you're up with your number 7.
My number 7 was really hard. I had to include this one, and I promised you guys that once we got to this year that I would probably sit around and learn this song so I could play it for you guys. But let's see if you can guess it right quick. How about this? I'm going with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That was this iconic Silver Shamrock little ditty that plays during the commercial.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! The biggest downer ending of all time, just about. You know,
yeah, but the movie is undeniable. The movie's undeniable. It's on a lot of people's hate. It's on a lot of people's hate lists, but I had to include it because, you know, it's some great effects. The story was pretty good. The murders, you know, the actual death sequences are really good. Plus, I think I played the mean guitar on that, playing the little theme. And stuff. Really,
Silver Shamrock.
Really fun playing that, and really fun to like annoy the shit out of my wife with it because when we watched it, that's what we hummed like the next 2 days after we watched it, was that particular song, Any Chance I Got. She'd be making dinner, and I'd be like, she'd be like, shut up. You know?
My daughter, all throughout October, wanted me to play the Silver Shamrock video just every single day, all the time. I was like, that's fine. If that's what you want. It was pissing everybody else off, though. It was great. So, I'll give some thoughts on Halloween 3 real quick, just while you mentioned it. To me, it is the most Halloween of the Halloween movies. Michael Myers, you know, in the first Halloween, it didn't really feel like Halloween. Halloween 2 was in a fucking hospital. You couldn't really get the Halloween feel too much in that one. Halloween 3, we get the Halloween feel. You've got the mask. You've got all the Halloween shit going on. The only thing that really took it out of it was that they ended up in fucking California. Oh, I mean, I know they already were, but, you know, Santa Mira. But yeah, there was just a lot of Halloween feel to it that you didn't really get in the